What's up? What's up? What's up? I love you guys, man. I love you guys, man. Y'all love hip hop so much that you guys keep everything in the light. You guys keep things moving forward. So I hope all of you have even got downloaded on your Spotify, your streaming yards, got the LL Cool J album right here, The Force, which stands for forgiveness or forensics of real creative energy. It's a tremendous album and definitely a rap album. If you love rap, go and cop this album. I had to get a physical copy, even though people don't get physical copies no more. This is the greatest rapper of all time. So if you like this genre, you like this music, you love rap, it's the greatest to ever do it. Now, let's get into this. Because what I'm about to say might go over a lot of people's heads. Because it's just that you probably wasn't from that era, so you just don't know. A lot of confused and get them all mixed up. But let's get to the song that started the whole rumblings about what was going on. There was a bad, dark period going on that was starting to rear its ugly head. And no one really foreseen it. Now, who shot your record so much? You guys come to me. I guess somebody did an interview, and you guys come to me with the information and try to present it to me and ask me my opinions on it. So, what actually happened? When they did Who Shot You, they were at the after party. It was after the after party for Jason's Lyric. Now, Jason Lyric came out in like 93, 94, right? So that movie's out. They go to the premiere of that. Right after that, they hit the studio to go to go and record the song. I Shot You. So you looking at like 94. At this time, what people don't know is LL Cool J, and he's separated from his father, from being his manager. He's getting back into the faith of God. He's just gotten married, and he's in a whole new space now. This whole change is what he's going through. He got out of his marriage. I mean, he got away from the relationships he was in. He was with Kadada, Quincy Jones' daughter, for a while. Then that broke off, and he broke up with her and over differences in religious beliefs, and he went back to Kadada. I mean, not Kadada, but Simone, his wife, and got married, and he's back in the faith, and he's around his kids, and he's changed. All of this stuff is a revelation for him. But with the new era of hip hop is starting to come in now, these younger guys are starting to be the guys that were under him. Like Nas is coming up. You got, Mobb Deep. And these guys is like 17, 18 years old. These are the new wave of people coming in. And at this time, LL's, looking for somebody to really manage him. And Leor Cohen and him are not really getting along as Def Jam is going through a new rephasing at this point. It's not going to be the old way Def Jam used to do things. They becoming real tight with the money. And they feel like, well, your last album didn't kind of pack it in commercially like we thought we was going to get, like Mama said, knock you out. So it's right back to you got to go back to work, L. You got to get back in the studio. You got to do something hot, but we don't know about giving you this money and this deal and what LL wanted. And LL was really pissed off about that. So he's trying to, because he's around Biggie and Puffy is getting ready to, explode on the scene and do his thing. And he's got Heavy D and all the songs and the stuff that LL want to do, Puff wants to do with LL. So when Puffy is around LL, he was like, look, I want to manage you, but it's going to cost this much for me to manage you. And he was like, he's like, I can show you what I could do. And that's how you saw him on the Flavor in Your Ear remix and all that. LL was in the mix. So it was no more the Marley Marl, and he see that the Marley Marl wave is LL is going to a new plateau now. So he's like, I gotta move this, go with this movement they got here. He saw they had a huge movement with this new younger group coming up. So he was over there, and for the first time, he showed his head. He's wearing sun visors where his head was bald, and people see LL's head for the first time ever. He never would show his head. So after that, got the new look. He's showing his head now. He's on the cover of The Source. He's got this grown man thing going now, and LL still wants to show he's the hardest rapper in the world. Nobody is as, I would say, prominently serious about being like the best in hip hop, and don't think I'm soft because I'm doing this. I'm somebody that really, really will go to the end, to no ends, to prove that I'm the best MC in the world. Now, what others didn't realize about LL is that how serious he is about going to the wall. And what he's there while they're making some of the greatest songs in hip hop history for a young artist coming out. And Biggie's got all this buzz. Like when he come, this dude finna be the one. So LL needs to be around that as a muse. And he's around Keith Murray. Murray can tear the roof off, So LL is just a battle mode type guy. So when they're in there rhyming, LL was, they was like, yeah, you're going to get on this song, it's called Who Shot You? And they were doing this. Pac hadn't even been shot yet, nothing. Had nothing to do with Tupac, right? So everybody's up in arms over this song because the song was hot, the beat was hot. So LL is listening to everybody do their verse, and him and Big sat there and talked. And like he said, he asked Big, why you smoke so much? Like, why you smoke so much, man? He was like, it's like I'm in the trap. When I start smoking, I get so high. And LL thought that was funny. But they were brotherly. You know what I'm saying? It was like no beef. It's competition. Like, the reason why what I'm saying this is for is because y'all came to me to ask me about the Biggie line, about him dissing LL Cool J, and I was like, it's not really him dissing on LL Cool J. He was just saying in general, it didn't matter who you was. Old school, new school need to learn though. I burn, baby, burn like disco inferno. He played the song when it was finished for LL. He picked LL up. I mean, well, he didn't pick LL up. LL picked him up basically. Because Biggie just don't drive. He never could drive. So just know that. But he was like wanting LL to, it's like, hey, check this out. I want you to hear it and see how it's feeling. Tell me if you like it. Biggie was a huge LL Cool J fan. Like, you have no idea. Like, he had Heavy D, Salt and Pepper, LL Cool J, everything. And the last album, the one that didn't do so well, Biggie loved that Pink Cookies in a Plastic Bag. That was his joint. He didn't know why. That wasn't bigger. He was like, man, I played that for the whole summer. And that's why on Me and My B, on that song, you hear Biggie say that the act of making love, and that's a nod to Pink Cookies. The act of making love is Pink Cookies in the plastic bag, getting crushed by buildings. He never thought about like, oh man, I gotta beat this guy. This guy is my enemy. None of that. It's nothing like that at all. Nobody had any inclination about, oh, this is going to be a big problem for anybody involved. No. No, nobody was thinking like that. So I don't know I didn't see the interview, so I don't know what the interviewer said. I don't know who they was interviewing, but the beef wasn't like how y'all probably would engage a beef based on how these rappers are today. It wasn't like that. It was a competition thing. So Big's in there slicing. Murray's in there, and Murray finna get on the record. Murray is slicing, they slicing, everybody doing their thing. Right? LL sit back, he watched all of this. And then he goes, And they was like, L, you gonna get on the track? He go, like, no, I'm gonna sit this one out. Because he wasn't ready. L wasn't ready yet to make that kind of record, to do what they wanted him to do at that time for that record. He wasn't ready for that. So while everybody is like loving it, and next thing you know, Who Shot You is kind of leaked. Biggie album comes out, and the mixtape guys loving this song. They loving it. They just, oh, who shot you? So everybody is losing it over who shot you, right? Now what's next? And it wasn't released. This is the mixtape. It was on a mixtape. Some mixtape DJ was like, this song's just hot. Next thing you know, the DJs got it in the club. They never released it. Pocket just got shot. So the song was out a little bit before that, but Pocket shot. hearing the song. He's in jail. About this song is out, so it's burning up the charts. LL Cool J is hearing the story about how he was supposed to be on the record. And when he heard the record, he was like, man, where's Keith? Keith Murray took that beat and burnt it to the floor. So it was like, man, Keith Murray destroyed this track too. Him and Big, his verse was so tough. Puff was like, I can't have that on the record. He was like, that verse is tough, but Biggie is in a zone, and the song will be too long. So I'm just gonna take the verse that he did and put it on Mary's album. So they was like, you gonna put it on Mary's joint? He was like, yeah, I'm gonna put it on Mary's joint. And it'll be like an intro. But they was like, that's too hard. Puff loved the song. But the radio thought it was, and the people that owned her label thought the song was too hard for Mary J. Blige, and they didn't want it. And he was like, I'm telling y'all, y'all don't know nothing. This song here is hot. This is in the clubs. I'm in the clubs. I'm telling you. So at that point, Diddy got on the phone, talked to all of the producers who was there that was making stuff happen. They said, this is what's going on with the record. And he was like, man, it's bad. Like Diddy was aware that it was going to look bad because he was like, nah, it's already people whispering now like we killed Tupac or something. He's like, now this looks like a problem for us. But he's like, the record is old. We made it before he got shot. He went out and told people, like, I'm not big on the record being out either, but the record is hot and the people wanted it. So you will hear it on the intro of one of Mary J's songs featuring Keith Murray. And they play some of the lyrics to that verse that Keith Murray got. But you'll find it on YouTube now. Thanks to YouTube, you'll be able to find everything about that record. Now, there's so much that goes on with this story because LL is hearing the rumors like everybody else tell him, you know, like, man, you was scared to get on the record with Big. And LL ain't the guy you tell or say he's scared of anything. This is LL Cool J. He didn't sell millions of records. Biggie career just got started. He sold 2 million records. LL averaged 2 million records. You know, double platinum wasn't even a thing until he came along. So nobody was seeing guys go double platinum before and sell that many records until LL showed up. And now here you come. I mean, here not Biggie, but everybody else saying he's the king of rap. Biggie this and Biggie that. So now LL's like, look, I got to show like I'm still that guy. You know, he was always cool with Big, but don't forget about me. That's what this whole thing was about. So he got with Murray, who was supposed to be on the record, and he ain't like the way they took Murray off the record. was like, look, I'm gonna do a song called I Shot You. This, playful thing with Big. It was playful, like who shot you? I shot you. So the first version of I Shot You has nothing to do with Tupac. He's basically just showing Big and everybody else like, yo, I'm LL, I'm still the best rapper in the game. That's what that song is about. It has nothing to do with Tupac at all. But I Shot You. Now, when they was doing that record and recording it, Hit 'Em Up wasn't out yet. So LL Cool J has the Mr. Smith album is what they were working on. It was called Smithsonian. It was called the Smithsonian album. That's what he was thinking of naming it. Then he ended up naming it Mr. Smith. But it was supposed to be called Smithsonian. Now, there's songs that was made that was submitted, and Lear Cohen didn't like the records and was like, this is like hardcore LL Cool J, and that's not what Lear Cohen wants. He don't want hardcore LL, I'm the baddest guy in the world. We done did all that. It's time for a new version of LL. We got to get a new change going on around here. So it was no commercial records. They were all hard. The song with Boyz II Men, Hey Lover, didn't exist. You had Dear Lover. That's a whole nother song. Thanks to YouTube, you'll find all those LL Cool J records that was supposed to be on the album. And there's a song that's got the beat from Tupac's Dear Mama. LL got a song like Dear Mama, using the Dear Mama beat. And that is a no-no. Pac don't like that. And that song didn't come out because Dear Mama was like the number one Dear Mama. But see, Dear Mama had a whole nother beat, and it ended up getting the same beat. And, just wasn't no, I'm trying to step on Pac toes, nothing. It's just, coincidence, things happen. Pac ended up changing the beat to that. And because of Ice Cube wouldn't approve the sample, so the new version of Dear Mama is out. And now LL Cool J's record is out. And there you have it. It's a whole new thing.
No know what I'm saying? No doubt. Represent this correct. Know what I'm saying? We about to be blowticious out here. Man, Big Ty said, we gonna work some chains, boy. Where we born. You know what I'm saying? Shot skills in the house. We gonna go crazy, you know what I'm saying?
Now, as you can see, there's always going to be a difference in how people move and how they motivate and how they create the passages that they want to create. Now, if you want to look at different sets, that's just a coincidence. But after Pac gets out and all these records have been made, they just sitting there, and they not gonna put out that record now because Dear Mama's doing what it's doing. So that's not on the album anymore. And you got a lot of these test songs that was out to try to see if these records is gonna pop. And Def Jam wasn't feeling like almost all of them. They only took one song, and I think that was No Airplay. And that was a hit on the mixtapes and everything. The beat, they love that. This is a jam that you love. They don't be getting no play. It's a jam that you love, a jam that you. This is a jam that you love that don't be getting no airplay. So when you see a jam that you love that don't be getting no airplay taking off, and they was like, all right, LL is coming back. So Puff and everybody is still, around him. And they just did this deal with Polygram, Def Jam. So that's how the reason they was like freezing and pausing on the money. Next thing you know, Polygram deal goes through. They get the new money from them. So now they Def Jam Music Group. And now they're like, okay, we're the Def Jam Music Group now. So Def Jam Russ is basically almost out of commission. There's going to be no more Russell Simmons running anything. He's just the face now. Russ is out. And Leor is going to be running things. So now that switch and transition happens to lead to Polygram with Boyz II Men. The record company was able to work it out so that they can make that song. And LL knew this is the record I could do, Hey Love, and make that song. And he knew how to make the commercial records he needed to, because doing it and all of this wouldn't have worked if he wasn't there to study what Puff and them was doing with Big. So the I Shot You song is the different version. The one Keith Murray's just on the hook. He didn't do a verse for the first one. They took that, you want to hit, give me a pen and a pad. And they used Keith Murray verse on the remix. LL was just in his bag and was like, I'm just going to let people know I've got it. This beat is almost like Who Shot You? And it's just like another part of Who Shot You? The I Shot You song. So that goes into him just trying to show, I'm the no MC alive that could flow with me. Easy does it. I got them flocking like buzzers. I shot you. So he's just letting everybody know, I'm the guy. Like, I ain't scared to get on no record with nobody. I'm LL Cool J. I shot you. But I ain't get on the record with Biggie. Because that would have been wrong. That was the smart business decision to make. That dude is young, up and coming, broke, ready to destroy anything in his path. You don't get in that person's way, or you don't get on that record. That he would make you look obsolete. And that was a smart business decision. Now, when all the buzz come out, LL got to show I'm LL Cool J. That's no question. I got to be LL at all times. So when it was all said and done, Pac's Hit 'Em Up comes out. The album is still being worked on, and Hit 'Em Up hits, and all of the chaos is going on with that. LL makes this song, Tupac's with Kadada. He didn't sold 5 million records, and it's anybody from New York that want to bring it, bring it. But we ain't singing, we bring in drama. F you and your MF and mama. We gonna kill all you MFers. Once he said that, it's not about Biggie no more. It ain't about Big. It's not about Biggie no more. When you said those words, it's no longer about Big. It's no longer about Puff. Now you've involved all of New York. And now that's gone to a whole nother level. People that didn't even deal with Biggie and Puff and them like that. Because not all New York did that. They couldn't stand, like Wu-Tang, they couldn't stand that. Nobody was really vibing with that statement that they made. And it made it a divisive thing. And Nobody was feeling like that. So LL does a remix because Def Jam Music Group wants to promote the new artist that's coming out. Now Mobb Deep is on the come up. So on the remix, he wanted Nas on there. LL Cool J wanted Nas. He couldn't get Nas on the joint. So Mobb Deep ended up getting on the joint. Fat Joe got on there. All the street dudes. He wanted to make a street anthem. So to make the street anthem, he had to have the streets on there. Biggie didn't get on that record, of course. The I Shot You remix. He ain't want no parts of that. And because LL didn't get on his record. So Biggie didn't get on that record. But Fat Joe, what's that? Prodigy, Keith Murray, and they put what was that? After Fox, I think that's it. So now Prodigy does his thing, representing Queensbridge, young rapper coming up. Foxy Brown, nobody had really heard Fox on too much of anything unless she was from New York, and she was still in high school, and she gets on the record with LL Cool J, which leads to her getting her Def Jam deal. So now she's getting a Def Jam deal. Everybody's all excited. It's, oh my God, Foxy's getting a deal. So now it's going crazy. Everybody's buzzing. Then that is what Leroy Cohen wants to do to launch and promote Foxy Brown. He's had that out there, so people be like, oh, this record's going to be huge. Because Leroy loved the original version. He loved the beat. He said the remix is perfect. And then LL comes in with a verse at the end. And his verse is definitely talking about Tupac. People want to instigate it. I battle anybody in the rap game quick. Name your spot. I make it hot for you. It's female rappers too. I don't give a boo. It was on. So LL was like putting his talk shit, light shit, now how the bullet feel, New York appeal. In LA, they gang bang, but if they touch a mic, they mother and ass hang. That's facts. Niggas don't receive no kind of slack. Because if they do, the answers keep on coming back. Not this time, but next time, I'ma name names. LL hitting from on top of the game. I shot you. Pac was livid. Because he loved LL. You know, he had love for LL. So it was like, LL, that's my guy. You know, like Melly Mel, Scorpio, like on the song New School, the Old School, he gave props to LL Cool J. LL didn't like that record. He did not like Tupac's Old School record at all. And there ain't nothing without the Old School. What more could I say? I wouldn't be here today if the Old School didn't pave the way. But the reasons that he didn't like it are entirely different as compared to the contrast or the reality. LL's a businessman as well as a hip hop artist. The reason LL Cool J didn't like that record, he loved the fact people giving him props, but he didn't like that Old School record from Pac because it's like you putting him up in the same category and making him a relic. You know, you're retiring him almost. And he's still like Like, I'm the top artist in the game. I'm one of the top rappers in the game. How you gonna retire me and just throw me in there like I wouldn't be here today if y'all old school dudes are old school, dude? Like, I'm still in the, like, I'm one of the top rappers in the game. And LL wasn't that old. People don't realize he came in at 16 years old. He signed this record deal at 16. So it wasn't like LL some old dude when they made the record. He just came in and had a record deal at 16 years old. He was 18 on I'm Bad. So here it is, 3 more albums later, and now he's like old school. You're old. It's like, dude, slow your roll. But he knows that's still what he was saying. I just got it. You know, I knew what he was, the point he was trying to make. But it was a clear shot. And that had to be addressed. Pac had to address that. A little Cool J, say what? But he made up for it. You know what I'm saying? He made up for it, and it made sense in the direction in which they were going. Because if they didn't do it that way, it would just been forever problems, you know. But LL and Pac never came to nothing because of Quincy Jones. So when they did the House of Blues thing, they basically got everything, you know, addressed as much as they could. Where he just didn't deal with LL Cool J, but he didn't like LL. They just didn't speak. But to LL, it wasn't like that. You know, he was just trying to say, hey, you know, touch a mic. Let's go song for song and see if you better than me. You know, that's how LL was thinking of it competitively. But when you say, I shot you, and he just got shot. And it's just a coincidence that that was the case. He was like, no, I was really originally talking about Big, because who shot you? I shot you. It had nothing to do with Pac altogether. But when he made the next verse, it was because he did the Hit 'Em Up song and was in Southern New York. And he was really pissed about that. So now you know the full story behind it. And don't forget to subscribe to the page. Hit the notification bell. What's up, my Patreons? You see, we gotta get them a little taste so they can know what we talk about here on the Patreon. And yeah, well, this is why we do what we do, is to maintain originally what other people can't or don't try to. We're here to get y'all the truth. I'm not mad at these dudes that's out here getting their name out there, come telling their stories. Appreciate it, man. I just know it because I lived it, you know. That's it. It's nothing special with me than anybody else. If LL says any different, he can. But I'm trying to tell you, I don't know a lot of people that would tell you I'm saying something different or alien. Because of Quincy Jones' affiliation with LL Cool J, they still had a business relationship. Kadada and the relationship ended, and she was like, "You used me to get to my father." He was like, "No, that's not the case, babe. Y'all into Buddhism. I'm not into that. I'm not into this bowing to this statue or this dude." And she trying to get him into this Buddhism stuff, and he's not going for it. He was like, "Nah, I don't do that," because he wasn't raised to do stuff like that. So it's a lot of stuff people don't know. But that's that. So don't forget, if you didn't join my Patreon yet, this is the stuff you see on my Casino for Life Patreon and then some. So shouts out to everybody on my Patreon. Shouts out to all you guys out there. Welcome to HDI TV, Sports Talk with Jose Rodriguez, Showface News, Damn D, POV, Kwame Brown, Bus, Life, Armando Black TV, and your boy Casino for Life saying thank you again. Thanks everybody who hit my Cash App up to Casino. I got a funny Cash App message. And yes, yes, I won't pick my nose no more. But I had just shaved my nose and got my nose hairs out, so it was itchy. So that's what that was about. But thank you for the Cash App to let me know that. I'm human, man. I'm out.